Wow. Here now is Republican Senator Josh Hawley, a member of the Armed Services Committee. Senator Hawley, I mean, what is China thinking when they see this? The Afghan withdrawal, and now this.
Well, you know, they're probably wondering why it is that people like General Milley and Secretary Austin spend so much time recommending books on white rage, on critical race theory, and are not more focused on war fighting. I mean, here's my view, Laura. We've got the best soldiers, airmen, Marines in the entire world. Our soldiers are amazing war fighters. Let them fight. Train them to fight. Let them do what they do best. And stop using the military as a giant social experiment, which is what the left seems to want.
Well, speaking of General Milley, he's apparently confident that China is not going to attack Taiwan anytime soon.
Is it your belief that China is preparing to make a move on Taiwan in the near future?
I would say that based on my analysis of China, I don't think that it is likely in the next near future being defined as 6, 12, maybe 24 months, that kind of window.
Oh, what a relief. Now, Senator, I don't know if it's in the late night calls to his Chinese counterpart that he's gleaning this information, but I seem to remember Milley vastly overestimating another timeline recently, of course, in Afghanistan.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Laura. And I have to say that General Milley has been pretty darn casual about the threat from China. I asked him a very similar question before the Armed Services Committee about China's intentions towards Taiwan, and he similarly was pretty dismissive and said, oh, I don't know if that's really going to be a problem. He said, I don't really know that he cast doubt on the Chinese ability to even take Taiwan. I can tell you that there's a very serious danger that China will invade Taiwan, and we've been warned by the commanders in the region, our commanders in the region, that this could come sooner than we had previously expected. We need to get ready to defend right now. And what we really need to do, Laura, is we need to get the Taiwanese ready to defend themselves. They need to have the ability to fight off China, to defend themselves, and we need to be ready to do it. And again, this ought to be the priority rather than assigning our troops to read stuff on critical race theory and white rage and white supremacy and all of these other left-wing pursuits.
Well, we love the troops, but under this leadership, we can't beat the Taliban. We're going to take on the CCP. Okay. I mean, I think that's a bridge too far given this leadership that we have. But Senator, I have to get to some other big news tonight. You're one of dozens of Senate Republicans who back a Congressional Review Act resolution to strike down the OSHA vaccine mandate. But given, I guess, that it would have to pass both chambers and get Biden's signature, what's the point in a way?
Well, I think one of the points is to put the Democrats on notice and to put them on the record. Laura, I mean, this is an illegal mandate. Let's just be blunt about it. 100% clear. This is illegal. The president has no authority to order private citizens and private businesses to get a mandate against their will, to get a vaccine, rather, against their will. And we need to put the Democrats on the record as voting for this total lawlessness. But you know what? More than that, we've got to give help to those state attorneys general out there who are going to court right now as we speak, filing injunctions against this thing. I fully expect that this will get enjoined by the federal courts. It should, because again, there's no legal basis for this, and I hope the thing gets struck down, the mandate gets struck down as soon as possible.
Well, and especially since there's no natural immunity exemption in this vaccine mandate. That's not even considered, and they rely on some study that's been dismantled by serious people. The CDC relies on this study about the waning effects of natural immunity compared to the vaccine. It's just bunk. So that's another thing. But Senator, I got to get to your parents' Bill of Rights, which I was very excited about, that will protect the right of every parent to know what's actually being taught to their kids in school. Tell us about that, because that's, of course, been our big issue here.
Yeah, I mean, this is, I think, one of the central issues of our time, Laura. You see the Biden administration trying to use the FBI to silence parents. It's time that we gave parents some support, and parents ought to have the right, protected in the law, to go and see their kid at school, to know what's being taught, to know who's teaching them, to know where the school money is going, what organizations are getting contracts from schools. Merrick Garland's son-in-law makes a lot of money peddling critical race theory. I think parents deserve to know who's being paid. Is he being paid, or other consultants being paid? We need to enshrine in the law parents' basic rights to have control over their kids' education and to be involved in it. The time has come.
Senator, thank you. Fantastic news on that front. And